If you've ever cut your calories to the bone, walked 10,000 steps, and stayed away from junk food, only to see your belly fat stay exactly where it is, you don't have a willpower problem. You have a storage problem. You've probably spent weeks feeling hungry, tired, and frustrated because the scale just won't move, even though you're doing everything the experts told you to do. You look in the mirror and wonder why your body is fighting you so hard. The truth is, your body isn't trying to make you miserable. It's just following a very specific set of instructions it's receiving from a gatekeeper hormone called insulin. Today, we are going to send that gatekeeper home. We're going to move your body from storage mode into burning mode using 3 simple, lazy methods that works with your biology.
Before I show you the 10-minute sugar vacuum hack that manually drains fat from your blood, you have to understand the exact glitch that is keeping your fat cells locked, because if you don't fix the signal first, no amount of walking will ever touch your stubborn belly fat. To understand how to fix this, you have to realize that your body is currently suffering from a massive communication error. Imagine for a second that your body has 2 completely different fuel tanks. One is a tiny 2-liter bottle of soda that you're holding in your hand, and the other is a massive 100-liter industrial fuel tank hidden in the back of your car. The tiny bottle represents the sugar currently floating in your blood and liver. The massive tank, that's your body fat. And for most of us, that tank is full to the brim. Here is the glitch in how we live in 2026. Your body is biologically programmed to finish every single drop in that tiny bottle before it even thinks about touching the big tank. It's a survival mechanism from a time when food was scarce. But today, food is everywhere. Because we eat from the moment we wake up until the moment we close our eyes, that tiny bottle is constantly being refilled. Your body never gets the signal that it's okay to open the big tank. And the guard standing in front of that tank is a hormone called insulin. As long as your body is busy dealing with the sugar from your last snack or meal, insulin stays high. And while it's high, the big tank stays completely hidden from your metabolism. We've been lied to for decades. We've been told that losing weight is just about burning calories, but that's like trying to drive a car with the handbrake pulled up. It's not about how hard you press the gas, it's about lowering the lock. If we can get that insulin level down to 0, your body will naturally start using its own fat for energy. And the best part? You won't feel like you're starving because your body is finally eating the fuel it has been hoarding for years.
The first secret method to dropping that insulin lock is something I call the sugar vacuum. And no, it has nothing to do with spending hours on a treadmill. Usually, when you eat a meal, your body has to release a massive amount of insulin to push that sugar into your muscles so it can be used for energy. This is why you feel that heavy food coma fog right after lunch. Your body is struggling to move all that energy around. But your muscles have a secret back door that almost nobody talks about. When your muscles are actually moving, even just a little bit, they can suck up sugar from your blood without needing any help from insulin at all. It's a mechanical process that bypasses the hormone entirely. It's like a vacuum that clears the path before the guard even shows up to lock the doors. You don't need to join a gym or buy expensive equipment to make this work. In fact, doing a high-intensity workout after a meal is actually a mistake. All you need to do is move for 10 to 15 minutes right after you finish your biggest meal of the day. This could be a very slow, lazy walk around your neighborhood, or even just going up your kitchen and doing the dishes. By moving while your blood sugar is trying to rise, you are manually draining that tiny bottle before it overflows. This keeps your insulin from spiking into the red zone, which means the lock on your fat stores stays loose. You're essentially tricking your body into staying in burning mode, even while you're digesting a full plate of food. It's the ultimate easy mode hack because you're using movement as a tool, not as a punishment. This next method is the reason why most diets fail, while this protocol succeeds. It's all about the order of your food that goes inside your stomach, which I like to call the food shield. Most of us were raised to eat our meals in whatever order looks best. We grab a piece of warm bread first, then the meat, then maybe a few vegetables at the end if we're still hungry. But if you change just the order of how that food enters your stomach, you can actually change your body's entire chemical reaction to the meal. Think of your stomach like a funnel. If you pour refined sugar or flour, like bread, rice, or pasta, into it first, it hits your blood system instantly. It's like throwing gasoline on a fire. Your blood sugar rockets up, and your insulin guard comes rushing out in a panic to lock down your fat stores. But if you put the shield down first, everything changes. The shield is fiber, specifically from green vegetables. If you eat your vegetables first, even just a small side salad or a few stalks of broccoli, it creates a soft, protective net in your stomach. When you eat the heavier, starchy stuff afterward, they get caught in that net. The sugar molecules enter your blood slowly, like a steady, controlled drip instead of a flood. Scientific studies have shown this can reduce your insulin spike by up to 75%. You're eating the exact same food, the same calories, and the same flavors, but you've removed the fat storing signal just by changing the order of your fork. This is why it's easier than fasting. You aren't skipping the food you love, you're just shielding your body from the damage. There is a very common, cheap ingredient that is probably sitting in your pantry right now that can stop your body from turning carbs into fat-storing sugar. That ingredient is vinegar, specifically raw apple cider vinegar. Now, I'm not talking about some miracle detox drink. I'm talking about a specific chemical buffer for your metabolism. Vinegar contains a certain type of acid that temporarily slows down the scissors in your stomach. These scissors are the enzymes your body uses to snip apart complex starches into tiny sugar molecules that spike your insulin. If you take just 1 tablespoon of vinegar in a tall glass of water about 10 minutes before you eat, you're essentially clogging those scissors for a short time. This means that even if you're eating a high-carb meal, the sugar enters your blood much more slowly. It gives your pancreas time to breathe. It's one of the most effective ways to prevent that heavy, post-meal crash that usually leads to you reaching for a sugary snack 2 hours later. When you combine this kitchen buffer with the food shield and the sugar vacuum, you are creating a triple threat for your insulin. You are essentially telling your body that even though food is coming in, it is safe to keep the fat tank open. It's a small, lazy habit that builds a massive amount of trust between you and your metabolism. It's not about being perfect, it's about being smart with the tools you already have.
So here is your easy mode blueprint for the next week. There is no calorie counting, no extreme cardio, and no expensive supplements. It's just 3 steps that require 0 extra willpower. First, start your biggest meal with your shield. Eat your greens or fiber first to build that protective net. Second, if you're at home, have a glass of water with a splash of vinegar before you sit down to eat. And third, after you finish that meal, don't just sit on the couch and scroll through your phone. Go for a 10-minute lazy walk to vacuum up that sugar and keep your insulin at baseline. When you start doing these 3 things together, you'll notice a shift that you've never felt before. Your energy will stay steady all afternoon. You won't get those emergency sugar cravings that usually ruin your progress. And slowly, that stubborn weight that has been stuck for months or years will finally start to melt away. You aren't fighting your body anymore. You're finally speaking its language. You're moving away from the hustle and into the flow. Your body wants to be at its ideal weight. It just needs the right signals to get there.
Now that you've learned how to drop your insulin and unlock your fat stores, the next step is to see the habits that melts belly fat like never before. Click this video right here to find out the 5 lazy habits that melt belly fat, and I'll see you over there to continue the easy mode protocol.